We'll call the meeting order, 6:30 PM. We'll take roll call, please.
Commissioner Mujica,
Here.
Commissioner Bengochea,
Here.
Commissioner Gray,
Here.
Commissioner Jackson, and Chairman Solis.
Present. All those accounted for, we do have a quorum. So we're gonna go ahead and our first item of business is always citizens to be heard. We have a citizens' comments, but both of them seem to be on item 4, so we'll wait till item 4. Seeing no other comments to be made, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. And that is the approval of the minutes of the August 5th meeting, the zoning commission meeting. I'll need a motion. Motion, I'll need a second.
Second.
Second, Bengochea. Jackson moved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Under new business 4.1, it's a public hearing on the possible amendments to chapter 50, article 5 of the zoning ordinance concerning short-term rentals. The public hearing is open at 6:31 PM. And we are now officially going to the open opportunity for people to comment. Miss Vincent, 203 Prince, would you like to come forward? And we ask you once again to just give us your name and your
Yeah,
address.
thank you. Julie Vincent, 203 Prinz. And I previously addressed the city council about this a couple months ago. I'm just asking that if decisions are based on the appearance of properties, I ask you to look at existing properties that have unsightly yards, rooftops, and properties in general. The estates may not have homes with ridiculous amount of banners, homes with dead trees on their rooftops, and homes just generally in disrepair. But other parts of Castle Hills do. If decisions are based on the fact that we do not need the money that these short-term rentals bring in, then I find that interesting, and I look forward to seeing how the city spends the surplus. I am asking for sensible, well-researched decisions, not reactions to one house that had excessive trash. I am also asking for your support for the enforcement of already established ordinances. And I just would like to call your attention to the fact that this afternoon, about noon, I called City Hall because there's a couch currently on the corner of Glen Tower and Northwest Military Access Road, and it was still there at 5 o'clock. And I was told that they would notify sanitation department at noon. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cullen. Please come forward to give us your address and your thoughts.
So, Brian Cullen, 103 Roletto. So I came to a meeting few months ago and just checking back. So I wasn't really expecting to speak, but I'm kind of wanting to do a vacation rental for our home. We've done this in multiple other areas. And so we've been here about 10 years, and I totally get, potentially the other side where people are concerned about this, and this, there's risks, if you do it right and you're really totally on top of it and you care. On the other hand, I think it's a good thing. So my wife and I just dropped our 2 kids off at college. We're going to be traveling a little bit. And so for us, a little extra income and having done it successfully before is something that we're hoping we can do, So, but that's it. But I was hoping that maybe you guys could, just give me an update. I called the city yesterday, I think, and spoke to somebody who was very friendly. It was the assistant manager, I think. And he was like, hey, just go to the meeting, but it looks like September 9th will be the final decision. But I'm just hoping to figure out where are we at? Is it looking like we can submit an application here in a week or so, or is it not?
I appreciate you coming forward. We'll answer it in our session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else scheduled to speak at this public? Anybody online? Don't see anybody. Any online? Seeing none, then at 6:34 PM, we close the public hearing and we move straight into discussion and possible action on amendments to chapter 15. Sir, you will be able to have a copy of what we're passing today. Here comes some last minute people. Would you like to speak since we're here? You're here? Okay. please come forward. We'll allow you to at least have some thoughts. Since you made the time to be here, do I need to reopen the meeting? Yes, sir. I'll reopen the public hearing at 6:35 PM. Yes, ma'am. Just your name, address, both of y'all, if y'all want. Just your thoughts of what brought you here. We don't want to leave anybody out. And definitely would love to hear from you as our neighbors.
Well, Richard and Becky Smith, 206 Antler.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sure. So you can hear us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you need to repeat?
206 Antler was my parents' house. They passed away some years ago and I inherited it. And we've been working to try to launch an Airbnb there. We live at 228 Herwick, which is right around the corner. So we
Gotcha.
have two houses there. And we ran an Airbnb for about 7 or 8 years. Back in the past, in an area here close to Castle Hills, we had a wonderful experience. And our neighbors said, the way y'all are doing this has not in any way impacted the neighborhood negatively. They said, if you ever need somebody to give that message that you can have a nice home that people come to each week, we've seen that you can do it the right way. So it was a great experience and we just hope to do it again since we are gearing up for that now.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's all.
And you do not presently have one. You have it outside of Castle Hills.
Well, we don't have one now. That was a few years ago. And we had to,
We had to sell
life got
that
in the
one.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had to sell that one because the elderly neighbors on each side died and passed away. And then those two became rental homes, long-term rental, college students, parties, noise, this just craziness. And we couldn't operate a nice, peaceful Airbnb because those two houses were creating a lot of noise and disturbance.
Yeah.
So we
In
just-
part, we had to shut it down because the neighborhood became too noisy.
Got it.
Our neighbors, not us, but our neighbors ended our business
that's right.
with other things in our lives are going on.
Thank you so much for coming down today. We appreciate you
Sure.
coming to our meeting.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
At 6:37 PM, see no other speakers, At 6:37 PM, we will close the public hearing. Mark, how do you want us to proceed at this point? Let me open up the next part. Section 4.2, discussion and possible action on amendments to Chapter 50, Article 5 of the zoning ordinance concerning short-term rentals. We had a few questions that were placed to us by Mr. Cullen, and would you like me to address that, Mark, or shall we proceed?
But this is an opportunity for the members of the commission to discuss the proposed amendments that were thoroughly vetted at the August 5th zoning commission meeting.
Correct.
But you certainly can, as chair or other members of the commission, can include in this discussion any reactions to the citizen comments that you received during the public hearing.
But we are not asking for you all to make a vote to recommend again.
The changes.
The changes. We don't have,
We need another vote. We do need a vote tonight
That's fine.
on the draft, because it does, although it was approved at the meeting on August 5th, it also had changes that were made and discussed and approved that are now in writing in the document that was sent out with the agenda, and which I believe Ms. Heinrich has put on the dais for each of you. There's also an updated resolution with a new resolution number being 2025-09-02. And there's a recital that the commission has held now, the 4th public hearing on consideration of these amendments. So we really do need the commission, after discussion and after whatever comments commission members want to make, an explanation to the citizen comments. We do need action on the proposed resolution, either as presented or as members of the commission choose to modify.
Thank you. So, Mr. Cullen, to answer you directly, we are looking at limiting the number of short-term rentals to 10. A maximum of 10 short-term rental certificates for the city of Castle Hills. Right now, we have 9. And so therefore, 2 people are here with possibilities of looking at that. One of you may be granted, the other one may not. Now, let me please explain. These are our recommendations to City Council. City Council next week can amend additions, subtraction of our recommendations. But when reference to that one question about whether we're going to do that, we have determined through our discussions and through this is our 4th public hearing of listening to community, that we decided to make that recommendation, and you'll see that. I think it's also important for you to, you can get a copy of our minutes from the meeting prior in in August, where we had a really good discussion for you to read all of that, as well as the minutes and this short-term rental recommendation that it should be available, correct, to them after the meeting. And then you could be prepared for the council meeting, which is next week on the 9th, correct? And so as this board has done, we thoroughly vetted, as our city attorney talked about over the last, since May, that we've been working on this issue. And so there are some recommendations that we came forward with. And that I will just answer your question directly. So we're recommending 10 be max for the city of Castle Hills. And once again, presently, there are 9 active Airbnbs operating in the city of Castle Hills. The other thing that we also are recommending, just for notification for both of y'all, is that we're also recommending that there be a 1,000-foot radius around any other that would prohibit an Airbnb next to another one within 1,000 feet. And so that's something else that's of significance that will be passed, maybe passed in the next council meeting. So I hope that gives you some clarification, but I do want you to take a copy of this home with you so they can look at it and see the recommendations, but recognize our job is just recommendations. We give that to the council.
May I ask a question?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for covering me. That would have been, and I apologize for the way it works, but the public hearing is a public hearing. At this time, it's just our discussion. Your questions are better suited to the council, as they will have the full opportunity to vet out there, where you will ask them directly your questions that you may have.
So I don't think it's.
Good.
Is there somebody specifically that is kind of the leader of all this that?
No, sir, they're all equal. They're all equal. And so I believe you can address all of them or none of them. I suggest you might send an email and then follow up. And then when you're in the meeting, they'll already know where you stand and what you're thinking. So that way, it's the best way that you can reach them all and give them that information. Because we can't tell who's going to be there that day if something happens or they're available or not. So I would suggest that tomorrow or morning, send an email to all 5 of them, right? The 4 and then the council member, and the mayor, and say, this is what I believe, this is what I'm concerned about, but take this and read it and see if it jives as much as, yes, sir. No. There's one that's just the short-term rental, the ordinance. That's our agenda. I'll give you a copy at the end of the meeting. And then, yeah, we'll be glad to give you ours when we're done. So I would need a motion and a second for what we've discussed in the last meeting for us to move forward. Oh, hold on a second. Do I read the resolution?
I would suggest that whoever wishes to make the motion, make a motion to
Yes.
adopt the resolution and read the resolution into the record.
Got it.
But we may not be ready for a motion. If there may be more discussion from the commission members, but there is a motion, then I would ask that when the motion is made, it include reading the proposed resolution and then having a second and discussion on the resolution, which incorporates the red line that shows the proposed changes to the existing wording in our ordinance about short-term rentals.
Got it. Mr. Jackson,
A second.
got a motion and a second to move on the resolution. So let me read the resolution before we approve it. A resolution 2025-0902, a resolution of zoning commission recommending to the city council of Castle Hills, Texas, revisions to sections 50.516 through 50.524 of the city zoning ordinance concerning short-term rentals. Whereas on April 8th, 2025, the city council directed the zoning commission to conduct public hearings and to recommend updates to the zoning code provisions regarding short-term rentals. And whereas the zoning commission conducted public hearings on short-term rentals on May 6th, June 2025, June 3rd, 2025, August 5th, 2025, and now September 2nd, 2025. And whereas the zoning commission heard citizen comments on the problems associated with short-term rentals, and citizens suggestions to the city's zoning ordinance provision as to short-term rentals to reduce the negative impact of such uses in residential areas. And whereas the zoning commission has evaluated the comments received at its now four public hearings, there'll be a correction to this ordinance, public hearings, and has discussed various issues related to the impact of short-term rental properties on nearby residents, and finds that it's appropriate that the recommended changes to the short-term rental provisions in the zoning ordinance now therefore be resolved that the zoning commission of the city of Castle Hills, Texas, that it recommends that the city council amend sections 50-516 through 50-524 of the zoning code in accordance with the exhibit A here attached here too. Now, I read the motion. We've had a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Is there any discussion on it? The date of the resolution will be passed on second day of September 2025. Any other discussion? Discussion, seeing no, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We have a resolution that we can give to city council. Seeing how that has conducted all business for today's meeting, I will look and entertain a motion to adjourn. Ms. Gray? Mr. Jackson? Jackson got with the moves, second by Gray.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're adjourned.